partial data for October and its full set of November data this morning. So the basically the unemployment number came out this morning from because of the shutdown from December. It was supposed to come out the 1st of December or the first Friday in December, but that didn't happen. So they came out with it this morning. And now that's why we're kind of gyrating. We had a little hiccup there in the morning. Let's see if we can find out what it was. So that's what happened this morning, and that's why it's basically the unemployment number that came out this morning for December. That would have come out December, first Friday of December. All right, now we're coming down here for support level. We're just kind of hanging around our pivot area here. 54 is our pivot. I mean, it's our support level on the downside. We're coming, rotating back down here to our pivot. We had 76. We got up to 74 and change there. If you did the 74, you did okay there because 74 is 74, you can imagine. All right, so we had retail sales also come out this morning, and 8:45 we have the PMI composite, and 9 o'clock we have business inventory. So a couple numbers here to contend with. We did take the 74 area there because we like 74. You did okay. And let me see here. And now what the numbers were. All right, so coming back here to our pivot area, kind of neutral right now. Okay, so be careful there at 75. If we come back up there, be careful at 76 totally, only because of the price action. If you're more risk averse, be a little bit more careful up here.
Hey, Vec, did you get our message? Let us know back in chat.
Now we're just kind of hanging around our pivot here, so kind of neutral. And let's see where we want to go from here. We nibbled at our upside resistance there as we quickly come back up here. So be a little bit careful there at 76. We did jumped in there at 74. You did okay. Again, so depending on how everybody here has different risk tolerances, and we have price action trades in addition to our levels. Some of those trades I'm mentioning are price action trades for various reasons, and we're always talking about having reasons to enter your trades. Talk about that in our education course that we do offer in case somebody's interested in that. If you're an experienced trader, you can maybe add some setups to your repertoire. If you are new to trading, it's old trading methodology here could help you learn to scalp. At least that's what we're trying to do here. Different types of trading mentalities. Everybody here trades differently, but we are scalping. That's what we would teach. So we come up here to a double top, so be careful here at 76. That's definitely not a Came right up there to 74.5 again. If you nibbled at it again against a retest there, you could have better stop right above that. Getting a nice little rotation here against that. So I'm trying to find out what the numbers were this morning. I can't seem to find them right away, but we know that they were out. It was the unemployment number that was from the first week in December, first Friday in December. So that came and they put it together, and it's like abbreviated. So hopefully, maybe they get back on track here with unemployment being the first Friday of every month going forward. But because of the shutdown, it created, I guess, a backlog or a delay, whichever way you want to phrase it. As we come quickly back down here to our 65 area, which is kind of quiet and neutral. So the range bound here a little bit. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We are scalping mini S&Ps. We have levels there in the chat that you can see. We're also finding price action trades. We average about 4 to 5 trades a day, and we also focus on the morning hours to give us those opportunities. Morning hours being till about 10 o'clock here. And we like to take advantage of those ebbs and flows. I think the dynamics do change as the day goes on. The trade gets a little bit slower, less volatility. So we try to take advantage of the time zone. There is more volatility. Obviously, that could change as well, but that's what we're doing right now for the time being. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. At the levels, any trades we put on, we talk about them. I'm pretty transparent about what we try to do here. So, all right, we're just drifting around here around this little range that we got. We got our support level on the downside is down at the 54. We talked about a little support there at the green band when we got down there initially. Now we're looking at the 54 area.
Hey, Tamar, check your chat area in Zoom. We sent you out a message. It also includes today's levels.
And we're drifting down there a little bit, kind of range bound. All right, quickly rotating down here to the 54 area, working this 54 area. Head down there at 53 as well. I like to scale in around my levels. We've got a couple points here against the 54 area. See if we can get a little bit more out of it. If you get the 53 as well, you're getting a nice little rotation here. I like to scale in around my levels, 55, 54, and 53. And then I scale out of them. So a nice little opportunity here against the well, I have 54, even though it says 55 there. That's our first support level there is at the 54 area. Yeah, our first support level is 54, not 55, but either way, he did okay jumping in there. And a nice little rotation here above our first support level there, 54. All right, nice little scalp there. It's our first support level. Let's see what the market wants to do here now. Next support level we're looking at is down there at 46. So we got both the 55 and the 53 this time, and had a nice rotation against it. Again, gotta stay with the game plan, and make sure you keep your stops in place, and always look for the next opportunity when you get stopped out. That's what we're trying to do here. The next support level we're focusing on is going to be the 46 area. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We are scalping mini S&Ps. We're trying to scalp these markets for 2 to 3 points minimally, but you can obviously get a little bit more than that if you are scaling in and trading multiple contracts. We do have a number coming out here in about a minute or so. We'll see what that does. We like to be flat when numbers are released. PMI composite. And that's going to be coming out here in about a minute or so. So let's be mindful of that. We like to be flat when those are released. I'll have a little bit of some orders down there at the 46 area. That's my next support level. And the upside there, I'm not going to do 70. If you're 76 is definitely not doable anymore, only because of the price action. I thought maybe we could get up there. The 74 held perfectly. So I'm gonna miss that one. So be careful here if we're coming down here to the 46 area, as the number is going to be released soon. And only if you're, depending on your risk tolerance, would you leave an order in, because it's kind of close. Maybe trade it smaller if you're going to trade it at all, or not trade it. Okay, rotating back up here a touch. Number going to be released now, so we'll be flat. You can see how the ladder ticket is very thinned out. There's no 20 lots up and down the ladder ticket. It's just 10 lots basically, or less. 1 lots now. Things really cleared out. 46 down below is our support level. Bonds all over the place here, and at the end of the day, unchanged. See what the yield is on the bonds right now. Yields at 4.18. All right, market kind of down ticking. We're looking at the 46 area. Next support level. Anybody has any questions, again, feel free to ask in the chat. We have to kind of be careful here and wait for opportunities. We don't just trade for sake of trading. Okay, coming down here to the 46 area. All right, well, that was quick. Quick couple points there for, oh, nice. Now we got a little bit more than that. That's a nice trade there. Still have them. It's going right down there for us. Didn't even like, all right. Those are the best kind right there. And see if we can get a little bit more out of this one here, if you still have them. All right, nice little trade there for us. They took that 500 lot out, so you can get out. All right, nice little scalp against 46. Yeah, that was a no-brainer there. Yeah, I like those no-brainers. We don't have to work it. All right, just got it. Boom. All right. All right. So if you're trying to hold on, got a nice little run up here. If you have any extras, obviously, because it ran up there pretty quick, probably have time to didn't get out of all of them. But now you're getting a nice little run here. So nice little trade there. If you did jump in, and if you're trying to stay long, this is a perfect opportunity. Wow, can't believe it came all the way back up here to our pivot. Little resistance right here around our pivot if you're going to hold on to them this long and see what happens here against our pivot. And blue band's going there, 69. Wow, nice rotation. They were just joking down there, 46. That was so sweet of them. Look at that move in 2 minutes, right? 46 all the way up there, 20-point move in 2 minutes. Amazing. Just never know with the volatility, and that's why you always got to keep your stops in place. Coming up here to our blue band now. All right, blue band is working out here very nicely for us. That's amazing run, right? Just never know. You never know how these markets trade. That's why you get in, gotta hold on to stuff, see if we can get a big run out of it. If you do, that's great. If you not, you take your profits, just move on. If you keep if we get in and it runs against us, that's why we have our stops in place. And just look for the next opportunity. That's all we can do. All right, I came right up to our blue band there. If you're a little aggressive, blue band area there. And if you did jump in there at 65, you did dip back down to 64, gave you a chance to get out of those. And nice little trade here against that little resistance area. Anybody has any questions, again, feel free to ask in the chat. Getting some nice rotations here against our areas. And our price action trades as well are working out for us a little bit. Upside, remember I said 76, probably not doable. I mean, what kind of move is this? Amazing, right? Just sometimes the market amazes me. You get this like basically 25, 30-point move, 25, whatever, in less than 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Sometimes you just gotta wonder. So non-farm payrolls grew to 64,000 in November, and they were expecting 40,000, and rebounding from the 105 decline in October. So kind of continues kind of strength in the job market. Unemployment rate rose to 4.6. So kind of gives cover. No, that really doesn't give any cover to the rate cut, but it is what it is. We got a small number here. Business inventory coming out here at 9 o'clock. All right, we're just going to come back here to our pivot, so kind of neutral right now. Be careful there at 76, simply because of the price action. Probably look at the 85 if you're a little bit more risk averse. See what it wants to do here. Again, and would not do the 76 only because the price action is probably a little bit of a buy here, actually. Yeah, 81 is the settlement price for those of you who like to use that. So again, we said not to use the 76. It was actually a buy there. Those of you who were looking for a momentum trade. Well, 75 is a little bit of a buy. And we put out numbers, and you have to look at the price action and then trade. You just don't put out numbers and blindly put them in there and pretend, if we didn't get it, we missed it by a little bit. That means that my numbers are off by just a touch. And doesn't mean we're wrong. It just means we missed it by a little bit, but doesn't mean that you take the trade because it just wasn't, just the price action didn't give it to us. And so you have to make those adjustments as a trader. And that's why we are trading. And that's why sometimes when you have somebody always asks me, well, why can't you just take your numbers every morning and put them in a grid and just trade them blindly? Well, in this situation, if you just put all my numbers in there and scalp them or try to scalp them, we lose money on this trade because and you shouldn't have had it on. So that's why I don't like to do that, and that's why you have to manage those trades and You're a trader. That's why you're in front of your screen, adjusting, looking at the price action, making those decisions. Sometimes you make the right decision, sometimes you make the wrong one. But at the end of the day, you're making them based on experience and understanding what the market is trying to do. And that's what we try to do here. We try to explain to you what's going on, why we do things, why we'd find levels, and then try to trade them accordingly. All right, we see a little volatility here. I guess this is an unemployment trade. All right, nice rotation. They got all the way up to 70 and change, or at least minimally looking at 81, but we didn't get up there. Even though our number is 85, 81 for another reason. And look at this move back down. Crazy, right? It's just would have been nice to get our 80, or well, at least 81, but we didn't get up there. Okay, very choppy. Came down right to our pivot area there. If you're maybe very aggressive there and maybe jumped in, a little bit of a buy or a rotation back to the pivot. And there's a little support area, only if you're very aggressive. Again, everybody here trades differently. Everybody here has different risk tolerances, as you can imagine. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Okay, just kind of hanging up here in this upper end of this range. We do have a number coming out here in about 3 minutes. Our support resistance area up here is up at 85, as you can see there in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. A little resistance around 81 if you're a little aggressive.
Hey, Yvette, did you get our message in chat? Let's open up the chat feature in Zoom.
Okay, I'm just kind of hanging here at the 76 top end of this range. All right, we're ticking here. The top end of this range, we're looking at the 85 support level. Getting little at 81 if you're very aggressive. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we got up to 81 there, but yeah, close. All right, well, floating quickly back down here. Obviously, we didn't get to 85. And nibbled around the 81. I talked about that as being a little bit of resistance. And that's why we kind of scale around a level simply because we're not going to be perfect. All right, quickly rotating back down here again. These moves are very dramatic, right? And 20 point, this move 0, that was on the number. Number did come out. And obviously they didn't like it so much. Bonds kind of like the little. I mean, that's not really a big number for it to make that move. The business inventory's number, but because they just needed a reason. Very, very choppy there. Down to 60 and all the way. Actually, down to 50. 50 and all the way back up. 50 and all the way back up. Very, very choppy. 60 and all the way back up here. Just kind of, this is like where this is going to stop. It'd be great, but some problem is that we don't know when it's going to stop and rotate over. So we have to pick our spots, have good reasons to enter, and so that way we didn't get caught up in these moves here. And if we had any reason to do anything, we were going to try to sell it around the 81 area. If you were able to, you did good and caught that move coming back down here. All right, all the way all over the place. 85 on the upside.